yeah. Episode 26 Delta Omega Niner dash 45 dash 3 Addendum 6.
Addendum 6?
Wait.
Sure it wasn't Addendum 5?
All right, we do. Welcome everybody to a very special episode of The Basement Dweller. New home, new intro. And you might notice that that super sexy voice across from me is definitely not the troll, that usually is next to me. Yeah, Robert could not make it this week, and so I had to pull another one of the dwellers out of their cave for this episode. And I have Cristian with me. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Since episode dose, I think. Episode 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
Man, look at me now. No, we're different.
Now we're in a kitchen.
Now we're in a kitchen. Now we're the kitchen dwellers.
The kitchen dwellers.
Come back next season. Maybe we'll be the patio dwellers. That sounds like an Irish podcast. Patio dweller.
I want to do so many things, but
no, just do it, man. It's all right. Aren't you like a master of offensive comedy now? You did watch Dave Chappelle's stand-up special.
it was pretty good, man.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I wouldn't call it offensive. I mean, he's definitely an offensive comedian, but the new stand-up was pretty good, and I don't know why he's getting so much shit for it.
Because someone always has to be upset.
That's true.
That's how it always is.
Yeah, there's like that meme now with like the two like
oh my god,
the
yeah.
two ladies in the front row.
That had to be selective, dude. Like that had to be like specific. Like no, these two bitches are gonna go.
He saw them. He was
right.
just like, I want them sitting right up front.
It's just a sea of fucking Arsenio Hall, and then you have Berkeley College in San Francisco. Just those two. Yeah, I saw that. And I mean, they looked like they were laughing. I mean, I think they just took a still shot of when they weren't laughing.
Did. There was one part like because they got that was like where
one part where they stopped laughing.
Right. It was during the trend stuff, right? Yeah.
Mm. Did you ever see that video of like the big girl at the like? So there was, speaking of Berkeley, there was like that whole thing when like a lot of colleges in like Northern California were like up in arms because like they were allowing people like Ben Shapiro and I think his name's like Jordan Peterson and what's the super gay dude's name? Milo
Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, like they were like allowing them to like do like essentially just their own like just TED Talks on campus,
wanted, yeah.
And like people were just up in arms. Do you remember that video of like that really big girl and like she's just like chanting like in her chair like keep your hate speech out of our campus, keep your hate. It's what I thought that was that chick. It looked just like her. Like it was fucking girl. Yeah. I thought it was the same girl and they just got it. You know what, dude? Dave Chappelle looks old. You know what it was? It was his face just looked like puffy. His eyes looked all puffy.
Yeah, I mean, he only weighed like 80 pounds during Chappelle's show. So I mean, he's got to have been eating better. I mean,
well, I mean, I think truly, I think this guy really just has it all figured out. From what I did listen to, about he was just like, look, you guys, Twitter's not real. I live in a nowheresville town in Ohio, and that's it. And so I thought that part was cool. Like he pretty much was just like, I have nothing else to lose, guys. Like I've been doing this since I was 15. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like if I'm still here, I mean that has to be some kind of beautiful irony. And right. It's like, and like you were saying before we started, you were saying like it's not like I changed up my bits. I wasn't like some hack of a comic that started just saying like trans stuff. He's always been fucking throwing heat at people.
He throws heat at everyone, though. But that's like the age-old excuse for comedians is, I hate everyone equally. I make fun of everyone the same. You know what's
the fucking best joke that I think personally has... I don't know. Every time I think of like that stand-up, it always reminds me of... Did you ever see... It was Chris Rock's like most notorious HBO special that came out in like 97. Okay. Where he does like the difference between black people and...
Yeah.
Like that joke, like I think about like imagine like today, it's like it's just I don't know, it's like so night and day from like the 90s, and that shit will always be the funniest fucking one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And what I listened to of Dave Chappelle, well, yeah, it was funny. I just don't think I got to thoroughly enjoy it because I was very fucking stoned and sleepy and.
Which you'd think would be the right state of mind to be in for a Chappelle stand-up.
Not for him though. And in that one, I don't think so. Like, and I know this is gonna. Have you ever listened to Bill Cosby's stand-up?
Personally, no.
Okay, so do you know how much do you know that Bill Cosby? He was he was like America's dad, and then he became America's creepy uncle. but but like his whole thing was like he never did like he never cussed,
right?
And he would just tell stories about his life.
He would just drug women and
then talk about how funny it was when he was a kid and he went to the dentist. Oh, but.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it. I want to do a pudding pops thing.
But no, but like that's kind of like what it reminded me of in a way where it's just like the comedy came from just like his, like, well, that's what he's been doing. So like the point I was getting to is like Bill Cosby had specials that were almost like 3 hours long.
Oh, I'm sure.
And Dave Chappelle can do that too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I was living in California, I mean, there were definitely times where it was just like I saw the lineup that was going to happen, and half those people wouldn't go up because they literally were just like, "Hey, Dave's here." And he just wants to do time. And that guy would be on stage from like 9 p.m. till like 11:30.
Wow.
And he would just sit up there and smoke cigarettes and fucking just riff, and it's just like, so that's where I think like where the humor comes from. Like he's not one of those like set him up, knock him down anymore. If you've ever heard his 90s comedy, all 90s comedy, in my opinion, is just like, okay.
Oh,
yeah. It's very just like, but I mean, and as much as I love him, who I personally feel like was not that funny in the 90s or early 2000s was Joe Rogan. Have you ever listened to his like early stuff?
Like during Fear Factor time?
Yeah, kind of like before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he just sounded like such like a bro, and it's just funny how like that's oh yeah, he kind of does. Speaking of people who can talk forever, dude, that guy he had Bert Kreischer on recently.
Oh yeah,
dude, and that podcast had a part 1 and 2, and both parts were like almost 3 hours long. He did like a 6-hour podcast with Joe.
Oh wow,
can you imagine? Do you think we could? How long do you think we could honestly go without it being stale? Because I could give it maybe 2 hours.
I would say about that. I mean, yeah, like as long as there's stuff to talk about. I mean,
but I don't know. I just don't know how he does it. And he does it. Do you know that guy does it like 5-6 times a week?
Oh, I'm sure.
That's all he does. I don't know when the last time you've listened to JRE, but like he releases episodes every single day, and all of them are at least between 2.5 and 4.5 hours.
Oh wow. No, yeah, I do listen to his stuff. I like how. I like how he argues with people, honestly. Like, because I like how he had Milo Yiannopoulos on I don't know if it was just one episode or a few episodes, but like, dude, like it's so funny how he's just, of course people don't want to say like, like just because someone has a different opinion than you that doesn't mean they're wrong, right? But he straight up is just like, no, that's wrong,
right? Yeah, and I mean, I like those ones. I like he had because he also is like kind of like no nonsense for that kind of bullshit. And like so he had like do you remember like Adam? I think his name was like Adam Conover or something. He was like the Adam Ruins Everything guy. He was from College Humor.
Yeah.
Like he had him on, and then this guy decided to like go on this whole riff about how like it's okay for or like we should welcome the idea of young children trying to like gender identify themselves. And like if they want to do like drastic things to change it, like it should be okay. And Joe just is not like he didn't agree, so he was just
I'm sure, yeah,
he was just stupid. And then, or he had like what's his guy name? What's his first name? Something Crowder. He's the meme that's change my mind guy.
Yeah.
He had him on, and that dude was just getting ripped apart because he was just like saying like weed is stupid. If someone says weed is stupid within 20 miles of Joe, he's like, then he just has to bust in, So it's like, I don't know. I'm always worried about that kind of stuff. I think that's why I like talking to you guys, like my friends, is because like I don't know if I could ever really handle real confrontation, like on this platform that I have, like because I don't feel like I'm knowledgeable enough to do it. Unless you came in and was just like, playing games is a waste of time. I guess I could be like, well, yes, but don't be mean about it. Right, I don't know, like because people always ask me like, when are you gonna try to do like not friends, I guess in like a nice way, which I'm like, I'd like to. I really just don't know where to start. And also, God forbid, I don't know. I always wonder like what's going to be like my breakthrough episode where I'm just like going to pop off on someone or like maybe the exact opposite. And like someone's going to pop off on me and I'm like, great, now I'm going to start crying and I want this podcast to end.
Just start saying some hard pressed shit, man.
Stupid. Nope. Stupid. Start doing that.
No, that's a dumb idea.
Shit take. That's really dumb.
You gotta clip that one.
Stupid. No, that's
dumb.
That's dumb. No, I'm super excited to have you on, dude. I feel like
Thanks,
I mean I see you all the time, but like there's something special about this. So now everyone can hang out with us, and really hasn't been much going on. Dude, before we go, can I tell you about the miracle that I experienced last night?
No. Moving on.
Dude. Okay. Do you remember that episode of How I Met Your Mother where where Marshall like spent the whole episode explaining to Lily like all the miracles he's had? Like he was like December 17th, 1995. I was crossing the street. You know what I mean? It's like crazy shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Get this. So for my birthday, I got some money from my grandma and my mom, and a part of it was going to be like half fun money and then half for the apartment. But then I looked at it and I was like, okay, we need a lot of stuff for the apartment, so just no fun money now. Mm-hmm. So we go to Walmart. We get all the stuff that we need for the apartment. I was telling you about this. It comes out to like, oh, let me back up a little bit. So I had about $400 cash. The first thing is we went to Imperial Outpost. Shout out Imperial Outpost on 51st and T-Bird.
Give us money.
I was just like looking at Warhammer stuff, and Allie was like, "Okay, well, I want a drink," and I was like, "Okay," and she comes back and she goes, "Well, the guy won't take credit cards for like less than like." I don't know, like it was like $5 or something like that, you know? So it was only like $1. So I was like, okay. So I broke a 20 and I said, give me a water, please. So he gave me back $19 and change, which was really funny because the guy looked like he was like, you guys come in here, breathe my air, and then only buy a water, And so I get that back, right? A couple days pass. We're here. We're officially getting the tour of the apartment to look around at it. And I'm dying thirsty. So like again, I want another water. Well, luckily down just a little bit down the complex, there's like a soda machine. Mm-hmm. Grab another water. Okay. So now I got like $397.50, right? Mm-hmm. I take that money. I go to Walmart. I spend like $300+ on shit. Which was also really funny because we had so much shit in our shopping cart. The guy just, the person at like the front who like does their job sometimes, like when they're supposed to check receipts.
Yeah, I used to be that guy.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I'm gonna need to see your receipt because we had a bunch of shit. And like I pull out just like this just doctrine of just like this parchment of just this long receipt, and he's just like, okay, I believe you. Yeah. So that night we're like, I don't know why I keep saying that night. It was yesterday. We were moving from like 7 to essentially just like almost like 9:30 at night, just moving stuff and boxes and stuff. Allie's like, I'm fucking starving. Okay. I was like, okay, well, we're going to go pick up some stuff at the apartment and we'll get food on the way. We were those people. So Taco Bell closes at 11 o'clock. It's like 10:55. And we're like, I'm sorry.
Wow.
So hungry. You know what I mean? We get there. And here's another important thing is Allie gets the same thing from Taco Bell every single time. Mm-hmm. It's the number 7 meal, which is a quesadilla with a crunchy taco, and she always wants a soft taco as well. Mm-hmm. So, but this time she goes, I don't want the extra soft taco. I was like, okay, fine. Mm-hmm. So I get whatever. We pull up, so the guy gives me the total, and I go, oh, I have cash. Like for the first time ever, it's like, okay, I have cash, cool. And I look, so it comes out to, I hear 17. I don't hear what the change was. Okay, and I was like, oh, I have cash. I pull out my cash. I have exactly $17. Like, oh, what a coincidence, right? And then I was like, babe, I have exactly $17. And she was like, and I was like, did you get the change? She's like, I think you said like 1717. As she said that, I pulled out the exact change I got from Walmart. And guess how much my change was? 1717.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I know that's not an interesting story in the slightest, but I want you to know that made me believe in God. Like I had the exact, this guy didn't even care. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, how's it going? I was like, do you understand what you just experienced today, sir? Do you know what you're a part of right now?
Miracle worker.
Yeah. And he was like, okay, thank you. And then like, I give him the exact money and I get my receipt back and I was like, no change necessary. It just felt cool. I did this thing where I was like, I put in all these factors, right? I put in all these factors of stuff I did with this money. We bought the exact right amount of things. We ordered the exact right amount of food and I used exactly $400. It was nice. I'm just
satisfying.
Yeah. That was it.
That's funny.
Thanks for tuning in.
Sorry, but guys.
I don't know. Have you ever like experienced just like I don't know how to explain it, but like that was just like, oh, that was cool. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm mad about though is like I wish I would have used that to like win money or something. You know, like that luck. You know what I mean? Like,
the last dollar bought you your $1 million scratcher.
Yeah, but I guess not. Have you ever won like a scratchy?
I think the most I've ever won was $50.
I bet it felt like $5,000
though. Oh yeah, I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But
do you still play the lottery?
No. Well, yeah. When it gets to like really stupid amounts, I'm like, all right, I gotta buy one now.
How does that work? Do you know how that works? Like, so let's just say I win.
Okay.
Who do I take it to?
Babe,
do they have like an office or something? Like, is there like an Arizona lottery office that like if I won the lottery, like right now, like what do I do with this? I'm going to take it back to the fucking Circle K on the corner and be like, hey, I just won $89 million.
No, I think they do have, because like, do you remember that video where the dude was like hookers and crack when he won the lottery? Yeah, they were at like a place. I think they have like offices or like places to like.
Who would you tell first?
Who would I tell?
First.
No one.
That's not true.
That is true.
So you're going to pretend like you don't have millions?
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Very easily.
Are you just going to live your normal life?
It would literally be less work to not tell people than to tell people.
But you're going to live like your normal life as if you don't have millions of dollars?
Oh, no.
So that's what I'm saying. So people are going to be
I would just kind of be like a spook about it. Like, you know, we'd be going out and then like, I don't know, let's say we go out for drinks or whatever, right? And then I'll just be like, I would just use it as like a beer for everyone on me. And they'll be like, are you sure? There's 150 people in here.
Do you understand what I would do if like if you didn't tell me, I'd be pissed. But like, I would make such a big deal about it, especially with you. If you were like in a round of drinks for everyone, I'd be like, Christian, you can't afford that.
I know. Yeah. That's what I want.
And you wouldn't tell me? I'd be like, how you come up with that money? You'd be like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I told Allie.
But that way you start rumors and you'll just be like, I don't know what it is or where he gets this money from, but Christian just seems to just be very well off, and I don't know what he did or who he killed.
That would be really funny. Yeah, like it just like little things here and there. Like you pull up, like you leave like today, like you win the lottery, you come back, you have a nicer car.
Yeah, just like randomly, hey Jacob, I was buying a car and I figured, why not just get two. Got you a car. Here you go, buddy.
Oh my God.
You'd still receive the benefits of me winning the lottery. I just wouldn't tell you that I won the lottery. Yeah, no.
But you'd still just spoil me.
Yeah. Like a guardian angel. Like just always have your back. I'm always
hey
watching.
Jacob, how's it going? We're kind of stressing on rent right now. I don't know if we're gonna really be able to make it next month. Well, now you'll make it the next 5 years.
Yeah, I would just go be like, hey, I want to put a deposit on Santoro.
It's like an act of kindness.
Yeah, just walk into there and just be like, do you want to no. Just pay for it.
I just imagine I have to have a horrible surgery procedure. I can't afford it.
Yeah, and then you'll come up to me and you'll just be like, bro, like, I don't know what happened. Just like how you told your little 17 fucking stupid story about Taco Bell. You just be like, I don't know what happened, but my rent was already paid.
Oh my God.
And I don't remember paying it. I'll just be like, wow.
That's awesome, dude.
That's cool, man. Little things, right? Someone's looking out for you.
That's devious. That's
deviously. It's really not.
It's deviously hilarious. Like,
yeah.
Well, like,
it would just be for me. It would just be for me to be like, hey.
Did you ever see The Disaster Artist?
Yeah.
So it's like that's like Tommy Wiseau's thing, right? Like the two things is like don't ask him how old he is.
Yeah.
Like don't ask him where he's from.
Don't ask how he got his money.
Yeah. Like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Let's just laugh. How funny is that movie, dude? Have you ever seen The Room? Have you ever seen the original The Room?
I tried to suffer through it.
Suffer?
Oh my,
bro!
Really?
I could watch that movie every day of my life.
Oh my God,
I love that movie.
Reminds me of like a bad like reenactment from like a crime show from like the 1980s.
Yeah,
like the lighting is just doesn't make sense.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's funny.
Would you do something like other than just pretend like you don't have a bunch of money? Mm-hmm. Like, is there something specifically that you'd want to do? Like, if you won the lottery?
I don't really have a lot of like bucket list things I want to do. This is one thing that I always said that I would do if I had enough money. The first thing I would do, I'd be a shit dad if I didn't say I would just make sure my son was well off for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I mean, but that just goes without saying.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I might buy an authentic suit of samurai armor first. I might be lying. So it's like Christian wins the lottery, buys samurai armor. As he's trying it on the mirror, he's like, "Oh fuck, I gotta make sure." Oh yeah, my son. No, of course I would take care of him. Make sure he's
that goes without saying.
Set for the rest of his life and grows up into a little piece of shit TikToker or something like that. Because, oh yeah, my dad bought me this Tesla and this mansion and.
It's funny is that as soon as you say TikTok, the first thing, and this is how brainwashing works, is whenever I hear the word TikTok, I just think of like that Macintosh like girl voice that is on every single TikTok. This is what my dog does when I go. Yeah, it's just like, like I feel like I hear that voice. Like that voice is in my head when I'm trying to sleep. Like, dude, TikTok is so poison. Like, it's so crazy. Like, how you know what? I would. I want to do a personal campaign. If I feel like Jordan Belfort said, like, you could do whatever you want with your money, like, or like you could do anything with money. Like he says, like, you could save the fucking spotted owl with money. You know what I mean? Like, you could just like with money, anything's possible. I would set a campaign to ban like for part 2 videos on TikTok. Those are the dumbest. Look, and I hate saying that. Like, I used to like tell myself how like, oh, I don't use TikTok. Like, oh, you know, it's now on Facebook. It's now on Instagram. It's on YouTube Shorts. I watch it on iFunny. I literally watch TikToks on everything except for TikTok. Yeah. Right. However, on all of those platforms, and the ones that I see her watch, it's like you won't believe what this guy did to his family, and this guy's like, and like there'll be a person explaining like this like horrible murder for like 30 seconds.
This man was 37 years old, married for 10 years with 3 beautiful children. He grew up in a suburban neighborhood in Ohio.
And then when they go right to like the actual thing, it's like for part 2, it's like, fuck your mom, dude. Like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, that's just them just baiting you for views.
I would put a stop to that. It is illegal to now say like for part 2 in a TikTok video.
It's gonna go under, dude. TikTok's gonna die.
It's not though, dude. I really don't think it is.
It's Vine, bro, and it is.
I don't know. I feel like this is way more popular than Vine.
Flashier fucking things.
Exactly. I feel like TikTok and Twitter have just poisoned like this new generation, and I really don't think it's going anywhere.
That's what they said about Vine, and then Vine got absorbed by what?
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah, fuck that. Someone's gonna buy it eventually.
I thought TikTok was owned like by the Chinese, or like there's like some conspiracy that it's like the Chinese weapon to like just.
Maybe. What does TikTok mean in Chinese?
I don't know. Does it mean something?
I'll Google it.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up. Does TikTok? No, don't. But I think. I mean, that idea is funny to just not tell anybody. But you know me. You think I
would know the second. Mm-hmm. Even if you didn't tell me, I would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm so bad.
The next time I see you, you'd have a grill and face tattoos.
Just a shit-eating grin.
A suit made of gold. And
yeah, because I'd wear my money.
Yeah,
and we both know that's true.
Yeah.
I'd look ridiculous.
I probably would too, but I would do it like in a sly way.
What do you mean?
Like do you remember?
Like $300 underwear?
Yeah, like stuff like that. $300 underwear. I don't know, cashmere gold-lined socks.
Or you could buy hobo shoes, but they're actually just fucking Yeezys.
Yeah, dude. Like I would just wear, like I would buy like band shirts from like the 1970s that freaking, Robert Plant wore himself.
Robert Plant wiped his sweat with this fucking t-shirt and then threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, but just me wearing it around, it just looks like a t-shirt.
I would get really obsessed with just like, because I mean, it's no secret to everyone listening, and especially with you. I mean, I'm a big collector of just, as soon as I get into something, I want to collect everything about it. That's what I'd probably get into. And like even shit that I would never, like I would like to like my goal, I've always had this fascination of being like, this is the only one and I have it.
Yeah.
Or like there's 5 of them and I have 4 and I'm looking for the 5th. Mm-hmm. So like, I know that a lot of this stuff is like protected by like, I've had like my first go-to is always like art sales, but I feel like that's always like an underground black market thing. You know what I mean?
Because it's like fuck art sales.
But what I'm saying, but it's ridiculous. It's just like
exactly.
So
like, dude, Always Sunny nailed it.
Yeah.
And the Ungo Gablogian episode, dude, they nailed it. They're just like, it's valuable to you, so that's what gives it value. But it's also valuable to me because I choose to have value in it.
Yeah. Well, but that's why I like talking to you about this kind of stuff, because I think the biggest fucking poser of all time, in my personal opinion, is Jackson Pollock.
Andy Warhol.
And Andy Warhol. Because of you, I also agree with that wholeheartedly now. Yeah. But no, like Jackson Pollock. Mm-hmm. Like the whole splatter thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to know, and it's like, you could give me a 7-hour documentary about the life of Jackson Pollock, and at the end of that documentary, I'd still say, okay, but why was he famous for that?
Yeah. Exactly. No, you're not wrong. It's just that, it's really just the value people put on stuff.
And I feel like especially with art, and that could be anything from music to painting to anything, it is so like, you know, because when you're a kid, especially when you're a kid, like you always try to think of like, well, who's the best? But that's such a loaded question because it always depends on who you ask. Like I brought up this, I don't know, I think I was talking to Aaron and DJ about this in episode 6 about like how, you know, you'll look at old boomers and they'll be like, hands down, best fucking guitar player of all time is Jimi Hendrix. But I could say, have you ever listened to Tosin Abasi from Animals as Leaders?
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix would never be able to do that shit.
Of course not. No.
But you know what I'm saying?
But he played his right-hand guitar left-handed.
Yeah, you know? So it's the same thing for me. It's like, we're like, okay, like Picasso paintings. They're pretty. Like, that's a pretty painting.
Yeah.
But I've seen better hotel art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not wrong. Okay, like I could say right now, if you wanted to, if I gave you a picture of a Picasso painting, you could copy it. You who don't even claim to be an artist could copy it very easily. You know, so it's not. It's a lot of like. It's not how good it was or how hard it was to make, which is, in my opinion, is often what it should be.
Yeah.
You know, it's how people reacted to it, and you know, a lot of it is what the artist was going through when they painted it, and you know, if the artist is still alive or dead, and you know, that's why, like, yeah, dude, I do consider myself an artist, but like, that's why I think that's part of why I've never pursued art, because I don't want to be part of that like culture, and just hearing people try to suck my dick about like why they feel like my art is good. I wouldn't say anything. I would just be like, yeah, man, but. Right. I know that's not why I painted it. I painted it because I was bored in my house.
So do you feel like, so even, I mean, you went to school for art, so I mean, do you still feel like there's those things I joke about all the time? It's like, what did the artist mean when he painted those flowers blue? Was it really just like, I wanted to paint them blue?
Sometimes yeah, sometimes no. You know, Georgia O'Keeffe painted pussies in her flowers. Yeah. You know, because she was very feminist and wanted people to know.
Yeah, it got my dick all hard when I looked at them.
Did I tell you when we went to the art museum not that long ago, and we have a friend who claims to be a very hardcore feminist, and we were looking around the paintings, and I noticed a Georgia O'Keeffe on the wall. It wasn't a big one, it wasn't a very famous one, but it was Georgia O'Keeffe. I saw the pussy flower on it, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I didn't even have to look at the name. I was like, that's a Georgia O'Keeffe, awesome, you know, yeah. Just because, you know, on top of going to school for art, I also took a feminist class, which I regret wholeheartedly.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because it just seemed like a class where I was...
Because Cristian was 19 and he's like, I'm going to get so much pussy out of this class.
No, it was because I had to take like an extra class, and they were like, all we have is feminism. And I was like, fuck. Like,
boo, feminists.
Not boo, feminism. Well, okay, let's talk about feminism for a second.
No, let's not. We're two dudes.
So... You know, coincidentally, in the Dave Chappelle stand-up, he gives the definition of feminism, which is... Allie has a look.
Oh, dude, she's ready.
He says that feminism is the belief that women should have equal rights. Mm-hmm. Why is that feminism, though?
I don't know. Is that?
I think feminism's the wrong way to word that. I think that should... And my feminist teacher told me this. She was like... The reality of feminism is that it shouldn't even be called feminism. It should be called equalism, because it should be the belief that everyone has equal rights.
But doesn't that kind of go back to like the topic of just like, of course, all lives matter, but all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter?
Of course, but it's like if you're creating a subsection of why we deserve rights, rather than we should all be on the same page and we should all deserve rights, then you're kind of inadvertently segregating yourself in that sense.
Okay.
You know, by like being like, yeah, sure, them too, but us, you know, this is why we deserve rights, you know, and it's like, it is kind of a touchy subject, and I know you're getting afraid.
I live in constant fear of this podcast, dude. It's fine. Keep going.
No, but like that was one thing that I like, that was definitely one like little awakening moment I had in that class, was that my feminist teacher was like, it should be equalism. The fact that, because when you think of a feminist, you don't think of someone, just a person. You don't think of a man even immediately. You know, you think of a woman. And, you know, a lot of times people who are maybe a little less educated on the subject think of, you know, a lesbian or someone who looks like, you know, what's her face, Rachel Maddow. You know, like, you know, that's what people. That's what people picture when they think of a feminist, right? But you shouldn't be able to picture a feminist, is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Because it should be everyone.
Yeah.
You know, it should, because it's, I don't know.
Oh my God.
This is going off the rails. I hate women, Jacob.
Dude, clip that one, dude. We have a fucking homie who fucking just clips all the best shit. Christian's over here fucking.
I'm a stud.
Christian's ballsy.
Bottom line, let's just say, okay, so we had a PowerPoint in that class. Going back to the class, okay?
Yes, okay.
We had a PowerPoint in that class that we had to make. And I had a death in the family, so I wasn't able to attend that class for at least like a week or something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. I came back to the class. I had two friends in that class. One was like a friend that I had met in orientation, and the other one was a friend that I had met in a different art class, who just also happened to be taking that class. So I didn't have a group because they had started a project while I was gone, and I didn't have a group. So I asked my teacher, and she was just like, you know, she didn't even really help me. She was just, go find a group.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'll go to my friends, you know. Mm-hmm. And my other friend had a group that was already like one person up, like too big. And then I went to my other friend and they were like, oh yeah, you know, sure. You know, so I remember I was like crunch time because like the PowerPoint was already like, or it was going to be due like in a couple days. Right. And it was just about like feminism in like, you know, American culture for whatever. And our subject matter was the American Girl dolls.
Okay.
Like, do you know what those are?
I feel like, okay, so here's the thing is like those have always been like such a fever dream to me because I've heard that term for my entire life. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen one actual American Girl doll or like a commercial, or I've never even seen like a girl I knew like would play with them.
Yeah, and
are they like big dolls?
No, they're like maybe like 6-7 inches tall.
Okay,
they're like just little things. And
well, aren't their whole thing is like too is like they're like they have like a lot of accessories and shit?
No. Okay, so like the thing is that every American Girl doll represents, I want to say they represent like an archetype of a famous or a strong female person from history, or they represent like a specific person from history.
Sure.
So there'll be, you know, like Navajo Nancy or whatever, something like that, right? I don't think that's how they name them, but like, you know, that's what it is. And then it's like this character, blah, blah, kind of like Beanie Babies. You know how like Beanie Babies kind of have like their own like little backstories or whatever? Yeah. It's like that. Yeah. But it's supposed to educate people about American history and the female role.
Sure.
So anyway, so I know a bunch about American dolls now because of this fucking PowerPoint. Yeah. So that's what I did. Like I had like 2 or 3 slides that I had to work on. And I just remember like I worked my ass off in those couple of days to get those PowerPoints just pristine. Because I just had to contribute a few slides to the entire PowerPoint, and then we had to present it as a group. Okay. So I email my slides to whoever was putting it all together in the group. And I also want to point out that I was one of 2 men in this class, the other of whom was very gay. Okay. So I was the only straight man in this class. So we submit our things, and then we're sitting in the classroom on presentation day, and one of the girls pulls me aside, and she's just like, hey. And I was like, yeah. She's like, so Jennifer is going to present your slides. And I was like, why?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. They never gave me a reason. It made no sense. But I now know it was because my slides were the best slides in the whole fucking PowerPoint.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not joking, Jacob. I had cited my sources. I had a full page of information. I had everything. I'm not joking when I said I worked my ass off for this fucking doll. Okay. I did really good slides for that PowerPoint. And everyone else just like fucked off the entire time they were doing it. They didn't. Yeah. It was like there was 3 sentences on everyone else's slide. And then they told me I had to present Jennifer's slides, and I was like, okay. I don't know if it was like because Jennifer needed the best, like the biggest push in her grade or something.
Fucking
like that.
Jennifer.
Fucking Jennifer. Fuck that bitch.
Fucking stupid bitch.
Stupid woman.
Fuck you, Christian.
But so I go up there and I'm presenting her slides, and they're unintelligible, poorly poorly put together sentences and stuff like that. They didn't make any sense. And then my instructor asks me questions about the slides. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't study this. I don't know how to answer these slides. I know what I wrote.
Well, I mean, did you come clean? And it was like,
absolutely,
this isn't mine.
Straight up, I fucking just, I sandbagged those bitches on my, I was straight up just like, I didn't write these slides. I wrote the last 3 slides, the ones that you're going to hear about.
The ones that are dynamite? Yeah, those are mine.
Yeah, I was like, I wrote these ones. I didn't write these ones. I have no idea what, honestly, is on these. You know, I didn't study these. And that was like, that's probably a good little summary of like how that whole class was for that semester. You know? So it's like, I don't know. I could try to find like some, not silver lining, but like some moral to the story. Because I mean, maybe it's just like someone, I'm sure if someone from that fucking class hears this, like they're gonna be like, well, now you know how it is for women.
Oh yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
that's what I thought you were getting to. I thought that was the whole point.
That's how. Well, but I'm also just like, no, like I did my work. I did what I was supposed to do, and someone else took credit for it. And oh god,
yeah. I mean, you were the hot girl in this situation, dude.
I was the hot girl in the situation.
The hot nerdy girl.
Someone just took credit for me.
You took your bun out and your glasses off, and you were super hot. You know. I think that's my favorite trope from the 90s with rom-coms. It's always like the super nerdy, like Poindexter girl, but as soon as she takes her glasses off and her hair down, like her tits get bigger and she gets like sexier fucking non-crooked teeth. You know, like that's just the secret. That was always my favorite, you know?
Yeah, just that fucking liga in your hair. Take it off, take them glasses off.
You know what I would do if going back 30 minutes ago, if I won the lottery?
What?
I would, if like my friend like just went through like a messy breakup or something like that, I would give them money to make it seem like they won like a lottery, just so like the other person that they were with like feels like a piece of shit. Like if they were like, oh fuck you, I'm leaving you or whatever, like just because like you know whatever, I'd be like, hey go, like here's $100,000, like and then like just keep posting like, oh like fucking my life's good now, like I got all this shit paid off by death, just so even if nothing happens from it, I just want that other person who I'll never see again. They're just like, oh man.
Damn it.
Yeah. Can we take a quick break?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now more of The Basement Dweller.
All right, we're back with Cristian.
You're fucking a white male!
And,
you're a white man!
So, you know.
I'm brown. What does that mean?
You're pretty honky.
I don't know what that means, Jacob. What tell me. Tell me what that means.
You're a white dude. You're whiter than I am.
What?
Yeah. You had a bigger emo phase than me. You fall for lustrous women easier than me.
Illustrious women.
You get you like to punch walls more than me.
I do not.
No, you don't.
I punched a wall since. Let's not get into that.
I punch.
No. Maybe like 3 years ago.
Why'd you do it?
That wall had it coming though.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've never punched a wall due to like anger of a relationship. I've definitely punched a wall over like Cuphead or like.
That's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like.
That's even more white than my thing.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, you're just Kyling out.
I have video games, not at like a person's expense.
I definitely used to do that too. What I used to do, only with Soul Calibur, dude. Like, cause you know how hard.
That's why we stopped playing video games together.
Yeah, you know how hard I went in that game, and Soul Calibur 3, dude, just online sometimes would just be so much fucking spaghetti, like.
And that's a fact.
And I just remember, like, I used to lay down playing in my room, and like I would just get so mad that I would just fly my heel into the wall.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, because, you know, I do draw and stuff. So I was like, oh, shit, now I got to make a drawing to cover up that hole so my mom doesn't find out. And I remember I totally, like, intended to tell my parents about all the holes in my wall. And then
all the holes in your walls?
There was quite a few.
Wow.
At least 4.
4?
Yeah. From video games.
That's some white person shit right there.
Fine. I was... Don't look at her like that. Yeah, I mean, sure. I was very emotionally unstable back then.
I used to do. What's the dumbest thing you did as a kid that like your parents were just like, what the fuck was that about? It doesn't have to be like serious, but like something stupid. You want me to go first to give an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when I was a kid, this is gonna sound really weird, but there was something about a turkey baster that I just thought was so interesting. Like I would just like when I was bored, like I would just walk around the house and just like suck up water and just like squirt it out.
Okay.
Like kind of like a fidget spinner.
Okay.
Well, one day I took the rubber squeezy part, and I was just like, huh, and I put it on the faucet, and I was just like, is the water gonna stop? So I just turned the water on for like a minute.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like it was filled up in there, but none was coming out, and I was like, oh, I guess it just stopped. And as I was about to leave, I noticed my socks were super wet. And I was like, uh-oh. And I opened the cabinets and just water. It busted like a pipe.
You blew the pipe.
And literally, you want to hear the worst thing ever? So literally, it was like as if like fate like knew. We had a house phone, but it was only like I was told not to answer it unless like because like my mom would leave a voicemail and be like, hey Jacob, it's me, Mom, pick up. Or she would just be like, hey, it's me. I'm on my way home, you know. So literally, as that happened, she goes, hey, sweetie, it's Mom. I just want to let you know that me and Jeff are on our way home. We should be home in about 10 minutes. I love you. And I was just like, oh, no. I was like panicking, so I just grabbed every towel in the house, and it didn't work.
Of course not.
Yeah, and then my water worked. I was like, I don't know, because I just thought I would save face, but nope, just cost them like a couple $100.
Jesus.
You ever done anything stupid like that?
Like that had a dollar amount behind it?
Yeah, like property damage. And I mean, you have a brother that's close to your age, so like maybe you and your brother did something stupid.
I was always pretty good about hiding my shit. Like, so like my mom just recently traded her car in, right?
Sure.
Car that she's had since like 2013 or something like that. And she traded it for a new Mini. But I remember when we moved into, I want to say it's the house they're living in now.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong. It might have been before that. Anyways, it was like the last like stretch of just moving all this shit over. And I remember like I had to unload this thing out of my mom's car, out of her back seat. It wasn't even in the trunk, right? And the garage is really small.
Yeah.
And my dad's car was back there, and I was trying so hard not to like, you know, just ding his car or something. So hard. I was very conscious. I was like, please don't damage the cars, you know, in my head. And I remember trying to pull this thing out, and I don't know what was on it or what it was latched onto, but I could not for the life of me like just yank it out of the car. And I remember I finally like got it loose from whatever it was, and I just flew back. I didn't damage the car, right? Still, I flew into my dad's car, didn't dent it or anything like that, but I just remember like the tub of whatever the shit was, I just spilled all over. And it was like, you know, books and random shit that was going to take a while to pick up. And I was so mad, and I like got back up, and I like slammed my palm into the top of my mom's car, and it dented it.
So this wasn't a kid. You were 20.
I was
7.
Probably in my earlier 20s, and yeah, I did that, and I never said anything about it.
They never busted you, or
they never busted me about it. And then she just traded her car in, and I don't think the dealership noticed either. So I was just like, off the hook.
Damn, you Ocean's 11 that.
I kept shut about that for like 5-6 years.
Wow. Well, maybe your mom's one of my 70 subscribers, and she's gonna listen and be like, "I weigh."
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I was such a destructive kid. Honestly, me, like in my childhood, it makes me not want to have children because of how I was. I mean, just the dumbest shit. Like I remember my grandma had like this ostrich egg like shell, like they just essentially like drained it.
Ew.
So you could just have the egg.
Did it smell weird?
No, it just looked like a big dinosaur egg, and she kept it on like kind of something like this, like so. And in my defense, I was like, that's a horrible place
to put an egg.
A
hollow egg.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
But she was right there, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And she was like, yeah, we got it from something. And as she's talking to me, I literally was just like, and it fell over. And we both just watched it just crack and break on the floor.
Oh.
And I'll
get you another one.
Yeah, literally, I was just like, I put it back together. And she was like, it's okay. Yeah, dude, I've done so much dumb shit. Like, I don't know, what's another one? Or just like I even to this day, like I hate taking pills.
Okay.
I'm just a baby. I can't do it. Like unless you do it like a dog. Like I have to get like applesauce.
Sure.
And I have to put it in applesauce and then like eat the applesauce. like an old man.
Okay.
Yeah. and one time, like my grandma, she just like, she's literally chasing me around the house because I'm like 7. But she's like, you need to have this. Like this is what I was told to give you. Like, you need to have this. And I remember, like, she literally at one point just grabbed me by, like, my cheeks like this, and she put it in my fucking mouth, and then she, like, put water in it, and the first thing I did was I just went, like, I just shot water in a pill just all over her tile floor, and I just ran away. Like, dude, I was such a shitty kid. Like,
oh, my God.
Yeah. I'm glad that, well, no, I wish I would have met you not in the 8th grade.
Why?
Because I wasn't annoying.
You were annoying?
Still? I don't know. Is that a joke? Or you
no, I was just like, are you like, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like.
You're kind of a cringy 8th grader.
Yeah, anything from like 8th grade to sophomore year of high school, I just hated about myself.
Okay.
So it's like, I just wish.
With all your DC shirts and your...
Dude, I wanted to be Rob Dyrdek so bad.
You had big old spiky hair.
Big old Static X hair. Yeah, I had my Toy Machine t-shirts.
Oh my God.
I blame that on my stepdad. I'm being perfectly honest, because he's the biggest bro of all
trying
time.
to make you into a little bro.
A little tap out, you know. I don't know. I mean,
I had a couple tap out shirts, but I wrestled.
what do you think was like your pinnacle peak of just like, I was the coolest like kid? Like, go from like kindergarten to 12th grade of high school. Like, when were you just like, this is my year? I'm like.
So it sounds kind of like, I guess, toxic masculinity to say.
You can't save yourself from the rant that you went on 20 minutes ago. It's okay, buddy.
You're right. By the way, I checked. All women agree with me.
Well, all women in this house.
All women. No, all of them. Right? Right, Allie? I'm pretty sure it's all.
Can we at least get that you're okay on record? Can we get like a?
We need affirmation from someone.
Christian felt really bad, so we're gonna have Allie chime in here for a second.
Why did you feel really bad?
Why do I feel bad? I just feel like I'm not allowed to talk about stuff like that.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say you're not allowed, but you know, I don't know. I agreed. I agreed with what he said. I mean, I feel like feminism started out as a good thing and turned into a stupid thing very quickly.
Yes.
And it turned into this whole like man-hating bullshit, which it's not supposed to be about. So.
Right, and that's what I've always said. Like, I don't consider myself a feminist. I consider myself an equalist, because feminism has become anti-man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, which is not what it was supposed to be about originally.
Yeah, and I feel like I just cover all bases by saying equalist, because I'm like, yeah, black people, of course, deserve the same rights we do. Mexicans, dogs again. I'm just kidding.
So yes, I agree. On record, I said it.
Well, there's a couple bigots in the house, but I mean, whatever, you guys. That's fine. You guys can start your own hate speech podcast if you want. But I think women are number one, and they are our overlords, and we must do whatever they say. So, hey, that's just me.
So you are like the man-hating feminist.
I am a soy boy forever and always. Allie can literally say, lick my boots while we're at Walmart, and I'll be like, yes, queen.
That's different.
That gets Christian's pee-pee all.
I'll be a little doggy for someone.
That's all I want for you, dude. Honestly, dude, I just want to find you a woman that is so sweet to you and is such a kind stepmom to your son and loves your family. But then when you're alone, she just wails on you in a sexy way.
You heard it here first, folks.
I think that's what you need.
Christian's looking for a
mommy, dude.
A pain mommy.
Yeah, dude. You've never done that kind of stuff still, huh?
I have.
You like it?
I've always been like the one in charge, but I mean, yeah, I would like to change it up.
I want that for you.
Yeah, man.
Just want you to be a little sissy pee-pee piss boy.
Yeah, I'm breedable.
You look at extra breedable today, Christian. You know what, dude? Growing up, let me just say, I love these jokes amongst the boys, I guess you would say, that would have definitely not flown. Like if you and I grew up in the 80s and like we were like hanging out with our boys and I was just like, damn, bro, you're looking extra thick and breedable today. I would never be allowed to hang out with them ever again, or they'd kick my ass. Like, I love the fact now, because I mean, you know me, I've always been just a fucking sensitive Sally, and I'm just in touch with my and so it's just like, that shit's always just been funny to me. Like, I love, like, we were just talking about this, actually on episode 23 or 24, we were talking about, like, with Robert. Like, Robert was saying that he'll watch lesbian porn. I mean, this is because he's a straight man, but you know where we're going.
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
But it's just like to me, it's just like it's funny to see how uncomfortable men will get. Like, and like I saw something on Twitter that was like, all these dudes were cool with just all the fucking makeout sessions that were like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Sure.
But I guess new 52 Superman, like Kid Superman, is bisexual.
Cool.
You know, and it's just like people are just like, what the fuck, you know, and it's like I know friends, like, and like we have mutual friends that I know would just be like, that's so dumb. What does it matter? You know, stuff like that. But it's just like you gave no shits.
Yeah.
About two ladies doing it.
Right. True. Yeah. Very true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's nothing like so it's like I always tell like, you know, I tell people, it's like we make the joke. It's like if you stay the night at my house or vice versa, it's just like I'm not gonna sleep on the couch. We're gonna snuggle. Yeah, we're gonna snuggle because it's just like who fucking cares, bro? Like, oh my god, dude, some of the best nights I will say that I've lived have definitely been like this is gonna sound so stupid, but just like what would have been homoerotic nights with you. I'm just like just two dudes with a bottle of whiskey. Just who knows where the night will go? We do nothing but sit on one each other's beds.
Each one of those nights was just a very good exposition for a gay movie.
Yeah, like a gay fucking cover. My favorite though is that you are. So here's my thing with you. You will get so drunk that you feel like you don't need help, but I treat you like you're a baby in a '50s cartoon, and they're going like you're going through a construction site.
Sure.
You know what I mean? When I'm super wasted, you do nothing but laugh at my expense.
Yeah.
And that's
funny.
Like I'll just be like, I don't feel good. I don't feel. You're like, you're fine. I'm throwing up. You're like, ah! like that's my favorite thing about you. It's like I secretly take care of you, and you just
No, you know what makes me mad? Because you do that, but you also do it under the guise that you're not as drunk as me. And that's where I'm like, I'll be drunk and I'll be like, Jacob's had twice as many beers as I have. And he's trying to be like, sorry, guys. He gets like this when he's drunk. So I'm like, you look like shit.
As soon as we close the door, I'm just like,
yeah.
Christian, I don't feel good.
I'm just like, that was shitty. Like, why you gotta make me look like the drunk asshole?
Christian's off the wagon. I think we're both still drunk assholes. I don't know. I think we're drunk assholes in our own special way. I just get super emotional and you just get very bold and brash.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
You want to conquer the world when you drink.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You get really drunk and you're like, you know, it sounds like a really good idea. And I know that you're drunk because you do the thing,
the one eye,
the old one eye thing. And I don't know because I can tell that you have like you're heavily wasted when you get very comfortable with people who you don't spend a lot of time with.
Sure, doesn't everyone?
Yeah, but like with
you,
you,
guy in a bathroom.
Yeah, okay.
In a public bathroom, you hugged another man,
a stranger
who was just trying to wash his hands and get on with his life.
No, but what I'm saying, like for you especially, because you are one to kind of keep to yourself.
Usually, yeah.
Until you drink, whereas me, I'm naturally. I mean, I don't soberly give people hugs in bathrooms, but like it just kind of I don't know. Like so, I was gonna ask like so, how can you tell like when like you're like okay, Jacob's getting to that level?
How can I tell when you're like
getting to that level?
Much?
Yeah. It's okay. You can say whatever you want, buddy.
I mean, well, you haven't really been that drunk around me lately.
I'll just think of. But it's been a lot of times.
Dang, do you want me to like get into it?
You can.
You used to want to make out with me all the time. We had like there was one time like where we like drunkenly kissed, and then like every time it was just like that was really fun. Give me a kiss, Christian. just give me a little kiss.
Yeah, give it.
I was like, there's not even anyone around.
Would it be crazy? We just kissed again right now.
I remember one time talking to you, but I was like, look, Jacob, like, I know we're partying a lot lately. You gotta stop trying to kiss me when you're drunk.
Oh my God, dude, that reminds me. Oh my God, speaking of that shit, that is my favorite part about what has become with Always Sunny is like how Mac is now that he's openly gay.
Yeah.
He's openly sexually harassing Dennis. And remember that episode that like Time's Up for the gang where they did the sexual harassment seminar, and then like Dennis reveals that he's the one that did this all.
Yeah.
And he's just he's like, but I can't be a sexual harasser because I'm gay. Well, guess what, buddy? You harass men, multiple men. Me too. You got to stop kissing me, man. It's never gonna happen. Not willingly. That's what that shit. Like I'm just like, but it's only with you though. It's not like I'm like going around with like just because you're just my fucking buddy. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and like you and I were both like kind of around that time, like just kind of come into quips with like the fact that like sexuality is an illusion. Our sexual orientation is not real.
Yeah, it's yeah.
You're gonna fuck whatever you want to fuck.
Which is so funny because I've heard the straightest men I've ever met in my life definitely say like, okay, like I would absolutely like Ryan Gosling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like if you even have that thought,
that's gay.
That's gay.
Yeah, I actually had I had this conversation with my parents recently, and like my mom. Oh, love you, mom. We just had a big fight. Yeah. So my fucking mom. No, so like we were driving to go get some Chinese food or something, and like we were in the car, and I was with my sister who, has an occupation that, and we were all talking about like sexual orientation, and my mom, being real,
a good Catholic woman.
Yeah, she was just kind of like, people can live their lives, but in the eyes of God.
But yeah, there's always the but.
Yeah. So we were just like trying to convey to because my sister feels the same way I do. She's just like, don't try to say what you are, just do what you want, you know? And my mom was just kind of like, no, in the Bible, blah, 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 and I was just like, Mom, have you never in your life looked at another woman and been like, that bitch is banging? Like, I would fuck the shit out of her. No shit. I'm not even censoring like how I was talking to my mom. This is how I was talking to her. And she was just like, you know what? Yeah, I definitely have seen some women, and I'm just like, she's very beautiful. I would definitely see why dudes want to get with her and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I know that's not all you thought.
Right.
I was like, that's gay.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever you want to put it on, like, you were attracted to that person, whether you wanted to address how you felt about it or not. Like, you were, momentarily attracted to another woman.
Yeah.
And then my dad is that person. I would never in my life, think about being with another man, He's like, I don't know. He said something and I was just like, that's gay, Dad. And it's just so funny, because that's how it was. Even like us, like as little kids, just being like, he's gay, like, like watching movies or whatever. Like, why are those two men kissing? That's so weird. It seems like back then, for some reason, it was like, how would I put that? Like, it seems like homosexuality in like the early 90s to like early 2000s was very like sparse, like hard. It was hard to see, not hard to see, but it's like you didn't see it in TV. Now you see all like the medication commercials and stuff that make sure they put like a black woman and a white woman, like and they're obviously in a relationship, and then there's a gay couple, and then
which is and that's like my whole thing is like you bring that up. It's like it's so weird, like how and it wasn't just because I got older, but like really just how times have changed, in my opinion, for the better. But it's like when we were kids, and this is one thing I was telling Allie about, was that I knew that I was comfortable with feeling attractiveness to both men and women at a young age. I mean, definitely like I'm talking like 8 or 9,
Sure.
My parents were never, and I've said this multiple times, my parents have never been like, that's fucking gay, you're going to go to fucking hell. Never.
Okay.
However, I did have people in my family that, less words, essentially said that. And you look at all this stuff, it's like you look at movies, which like I don't like what I used to find funny, I don't anymore. Looking back, like my biggest thing with this is like Chuck and Larry.
Okay.
I used to find that movie fucking hilarious.
Sure.
Only for the sole fact I was like, that guy's gay. Because back in the day, gay, like there was no like you have today where it's just like a character can just
be gay. And seem normal.
But not have 10 cocks in his ass and watch The View
Floating
and have a fucking faux feather. Yeah, you know what I mean? And like that was the examples that we had growing up as kids. Yeah. But then I started meeting real gay people, because I got older and I was like, okay, well, that's a gay man or woman. I was like, you're not
different
sucking cocks everywhere you go. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, so I don't, because I was so afraid of admitting that, because that's what I thought you had to do.
Right.
And I've in our friendship, I mean, I've made the joke all the time. It's like I don't switch it up depending on who I'm talking to. Just like how I talk to you or how I talk to Allie or anyone. It's like if I'm at a gay bar and I'm trying to, like, if I'm flirting with a gay man, I'm just like, what's up, bro? Like,
Yeah, sure.
I like your shirt, man. Oh, that's cool. You ever seen that band? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But back in the day, it's like you were taught that that's not how it goes. It's like every fucking club's a, you know, it's just like there's glitter and like
cover your butt.
Yeah, and like even now, I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to go there because it's loud and
yeah.
I don't want to pay $90 for a drink, you know. So it's just and that's where our parents grew up. You know, so it's like we are the precursor generation of just like, no matter if Allie and I have kids, we don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like what like we don't hope for it. We don't hope that it doesn't happen. It's just like, okay, man, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't ever want like, cause you hear all these sad stories, and one thing I was gonna say, cause you know we were talking about like the Bible and stuff like that. Stuff in the past. It's like I solely will blame repression of homosexuality on a lot of things that shitty men in the past have done.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Just like, and it's just like that. Just
you could say that about anything.
Yeah, it's like I just hope that like eventually that's just not how it feels. So it's just like looking inward. It's just like, I don't know. I feel bad because I hear heartbreaking stories of people that are our age that are just like, I had to pretend to just be straight my entire life.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like I don't have to.
Yeah, that's that is cool about now. It's like, you know, I mean, going back to that Dave Chappelle, you know, stand-up.
Oh my God, yeah, those bits.
You remember he mentions he's like I'm jealous of gay people because how good is that movement doing right now? You know,
yeah.
And like, I mean, he's not wrong. Like, yeah, like homosexuality or like, you know, any part of like the LGBTQ LMNOP community, you know. Sorry, but
okay. That's funny.
Like, yeah, like it's very normalized now to the point where it's like you don't really think twice about it anymore. But it's like, you know, even in our childhoods, like that wasn't the case. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. And it's like I've kind of, you know, like, yeah, growing up, like I definitely like was, you know, seeing, you know, I would have, you know, of course, gay thoughts as a kid. Everyone does, but fucking like I just remember being like, what does this mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember going through that phase of like, am I gay? Like, should I be ashamed?
Well, and no disrespect to your parents, but I mean, there were definitely parents that you really couldn't say, hey, this is like I had this thought.
Yeah.
You know,
most definitely. And you know, just kind of like I started telling my parents like probably around when I turned 18, and I was just like, I don't have a sexual identity, you know, like I say straight just because it's easiest, and that's what my, I guess, track record would suggest, you know, but it's like, you know, I don't really give a shit.
Did I tell you the story about being one of well, they're no longer a friend to me really anymore. I mean, we hung out all the time together, and I'll tell you off mic. Did I ever tell you the story about how I became their boyfriend's first homosexual experience?
No.
So I had a period where I was hanging out with these two, and it was just a lady and her boyfriend, and we would hang out. Just, you know, I think they came to one of my parties that I was throwing, and it was kind of like a rekindling of like an old friendship. So it's like, oh yeah, like we're gonna have to do like dinner together, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we all started hanging out together and stuff like that. Well, one day we're all supposed to hang out together again. But she's either like she's like sick or has to work, or something happens. But her boyfriend's like, oh, I'm still down to hang out, and I'm friends with him as much as I am with her.
Okay.
So we go to the bar, we hang out, and we're talking for like hours and hours and hours. We're drinking, you know, it's a fun time. There is no weirdness. It's like hanging out with a dude, you know, like whatever, it's my buddy. We go to each other's cars. We're gonna leave for the day, you know, fist bump. All right, man, see you later. You know, let me know when you get home, stuff like that. I just do this thing. So I do this thing with like when in my car where it's like, I don't just turn on my car and drive away. Like, it's like, I got to make sure like I got my maps on, or maybe I'll sit there. I used to like sit in my truck and just smoke a cigarette before I would drive or something like that. And I see his car lights behind me. He doesn't drive away either. But his car lights turn off, and he gets out of his car, and I'm like, oh, is something wrong? And I'm just kind of seeing what he's doing, and he's walking up to me. Again, no build up to this. Okay. I think maybe during the conversation we talked about how I think I mentioned like, yeah, I was like seeing this dude in California, but that's it, you know. Like, and then it was a passerby. He comes up to the car, and I roll my window. I'm like, hey man, what's up? You good? And he goes, I apologize for what I'm gonna ask right now, But it's been driving me crazy. I'm like, what's up? He goes, can I kiss you?
What?
And I was like, yeah, just like that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? What do you mean? He's like, look, like, say no, like, just, I know you wouldn't make me feel stupid, but can I kiss you? And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
I think because the way I looked at it, it was like, what if I said no? I didn't want him to feel self-conscious. I didn't want him to think that I was going to tell his girlfriend, so.
What, was his girlfriend in the car?
No, she wasn't there. Remember, because she had to either work or she was sick or something like that. So I was like, yeah, and we didn't like make out or anything like that. We just had maybe like a 4-second smooch, and literally he just like, okay, thank you, and I was like, okay, and then he drove away. And weirdly, that was the last time I ever saw them.
Oh no.
Yeah, so like I don't know like what happened of that, but yeah, because if when I tell you who it is, you'll know exactly who it is. So I just didn't.
I'm going through the Rolodex.
I think it's really gonna surprise you because I think you're not gonna know. But no, like it's just like that made me feel like I almost got like emotional because I was just like, how long has he been thinking about that?
Do I know this person to be?
I don't know.
Gay or bi or
no, because I sure as shit didn't.
Oh wow.
And I don't even think he would be any of it. Maybe he was just legitimately curious, Like I don't.
It could have been like just kind of like a singular like infatuation. Like,
Yeah,
that does happen.
Yeah, maybe I was just that cool of a dude. He wanted to give me a smooch and go to bed. Like I don't fucking know. Like
it's because like I said before, like sexual orientation is an illusion.
I just think if you want to have straight relationships, just fucking do it. If that's how you feel, it's fine. Just don't be an asshole if someone doesn't want to do that.
Sure. Yeah.
That's all I am. Dude, is a big bisexual Warhammer playing machine, bro. That's it. Speaking of that, I love that game.
Warhammer.
Yep. It's all your fault. Christian does this thing where as soon as he gets into something, dude, I was just talking about this the other day. Speaking of things that you just get it, because you have this thing just like me where as soon as you are interested in something, it's
my
whole life. Yeah. I remember one day, I don't know, we weren't living together. I think it was in California, but one day you were just like, you called me out of the blue because we do this to each other. We have random thoughts and we'll just call each other for you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" It was late.
One of them is gonna be $1 million idea.
Yeah,
so just wait.
But you go, dude. I think I'm gonna start learning how to speak Orcish.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what the fuck did you just say? And for like a good solid 3 weeks, you're just like, I learned how to speak these sentences. And I was like, dude, go to fucking get a hobby, dude. Like,
well. You know where that stems from is because, like, when I was taking AP English in high school, we had to do, like, this... It was, like, a fucking dissertation, dude. Like, we had to do, like, this really, like, hard, like, literary, like, essay. And it had to be, like, I don't know how many thousand words, but what I was assigned was how, like, the comparisons between Tolkien and... I want to say... I'm going to... fuck it up, I think, but Bradbury, the guy that created Star Trek, right?
Let's find out.
And I want to say it's Bradbury. I could be wrong.
That's fine.
But and my assignment was to analyze the similarities and the differences between
Gene Roddenberry.
Roddenberry. That was going to be my second.
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
So So my assignment was to analyze the differences and similarities between how Tolkien created, the different languages in the the Lord of the Rings books, The Hobbit, and all that stuff, like Elvish, Orcish. Yeah. There's over in the books, like canonically, there's like over 300 different dialects of Elvish.
That's insane.
That's psycho, dude.
Yeah.
This dude went to Oxford, for like on a literary major or whatever. And
well, I mean, both of these geniuses made cult following things. Like, I mean, don't some colleges offer Klingon? Like,
yeah, dude. No shit. Like, he straight up like create like every iteration of like the fantasy universe that we know it, as we know it, is somewhat inspired off Tolkien.
Yeah.
Tolkien, and then some middle age, whatever storytelling.
Yeah.
So, I went into all kinds of different analysis, like about how, Roddenberry created like his ideas and languages of like, Klingon and stuff.
Now
like
I'm getting it because it's the difference between fantasy and sci-fi kind of thing.
Fantasy and sci-fi for two different, minds that were very similar.
Sure.
And it was, so I went into like the different analyses of that. But, yeah, man, I just remember like while I was doing that, I just happened to start learning a little bit of Elvish while I was doing it, and then I was just like, I'm gonna learn a lot of Elvish.
Yeah.
And and then I knew Elvish pretty well for a while, and then I just like I didn't have it's not like I was talking Elvish to everyone. Straight up. And I was just like, all right, I'm done. Like, and I forgot it. But yeah, but the reason, because I did want to learn Orcish. It's actually called Black Speech.
That's racist.
But I wanted to learn Black Speech because I saw the Hobbit movies, and what's his name? What's the Pale Orc's name?
I don't know, but I know you're talking about.
I'm sorry, but like, is it? I want to say Gosgwal, but
that's the Warhammer. Yeah, that's Warhammer.
But Azog, that's his name.
Yeah, Azog the Defiler.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I wanted to do was, because Azog, he looks like a pit bull and a shark at the same time.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to get a white pit bull with blue eyes wherever I could find one, or a bulldog or whatever. Yeah. And I wanted to name him Azog, and my idea was to train him in Black Speech. Because like there's a lot of things in Black Speech, like the intonation of like your voice and stuff like that, and how you say that you have to speak it violently. Yeah. It's not a beautiful language, right. So it's like you have to sound evil when you're speaking it. So I just think it would be so funny, like just to be like, don't bother talking to him. He only speaks orc.
Yeah, let me get him. No,
yeah, exactly.
It just comes and gives you the paper, like
just like full strategic. Yeah, and then he just and he just lands on my lap. Yeah,
but he's like, I love you, Dad. Like that rocks.
So I don't know. I thought that would be a cool idea. Nobody stole that idea. That's my idea.
And that's pretty cool. I mean, and that's the thing is like, it's like, and this is another thing that I was saying. I mean, I've said it on multiple podcasts. It's like I love that we live in a generation that it is okay for us to. I don't remember my parents. I know like my dad. My dad is the biggest thing with this. But when my dad was growing up, he was a huge comic book fan, a huge like OG like traditional 80s and 90s anime fan.
Yeah.
He loved all that stuff. But then, he had me, and
you ruined everything.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like it. Yeah, like they just that's. But it's like we live in a generation where it's like we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so cool. So it's like yeah, I'm 27. I just turned 27, but it's like that shit. Like going back to Warhammer, it's like when I finally started learning about the game and the lore, it's like I spent hours just reading and like that's fucking sick. Yeah. And now in my day-to-day life, I'm just like I see dumb shit, I'm like that's heresy, just like dude. And it's like I'll never not say that. Like because it's like it's so like I like but on the opposite perspective, I hate going into these stores and seeing like I'm just like you're such a fucking poser. Like these like fucking new age like fucking Gen Zers. And they're fucking like this like 12-year-old girl with her fucking Sailor Moon shirt. I'm just like, you can't name name them all right now. Like I feel like I almost have to like gatekeep right now because it's just like because I definitely I never really got like seriously bullied.
Okay.
But I definitely got picked on for like saying dumb stuff.
Sure.
Like I don't remember exactly what the story was, but I mean, like I remember like getting like playing basketball with my friends and like we would like every time we'd like shoot, like we would say something from like I don't remember the example, but it was like some like anime. Like we would instead of like saying Kobe, we would say something stupid. Yeah. And like these kids would literally just be like, "Oh, you're fucking stupid." Like, it's like So now when I see kids who are just like, if this was 2002, you'd be an asshole to me. And they're rocking their fucking Star Platinum t-shirt or you know what I mean, like they're fucking Hunter x Hunter. I'm just like you saw a TikTok and some e-girl you want to fuck and wear the same shirt and now it's like that's like the cool thing now,
Yeah.
And I was never like a super anime guy. I watched like the most basic fucking shit.
Sure.
I've always felt weird about hentai. That's the one thing where I draw the line. I'm just not.
I've seen some good ones, but
you've seen good hentais?
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's like saying I've seen good pornos. Like, I guess, but it's like it's porno. It's smut.
Dude, have you watched?
You haven't ever had like your favorite fucking just like video?
I have a vault for sure. Like I have like an Old Faithful for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't even say that like, oh, that's a good porno. I'm just like it's porn.
It's a good porno.
You know what we know what porn.
It's job.
You might have to edit this part out, but you know what porn that I don't understand is getting so much hype? The fucking Animal Crossing, the Ankh video.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Ellie?
Yeah, she's seen it. Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh.
It's that song, that little Egyptian song.
Yeah. Well, what makes me sad is I found out that it's not even like an Animal Crossing song. Some dude made that song in the 80s, and I'm like, I would have been, like, if my legacy was that, like, I made this banger in the fucking 80s, like this cool Egyptian song, and now kids are making fucking AMF, like, porns to it, like, I'd be so fucking bummed. And yeah, dude, like, it's just not for me, dog. Like, it's fucking. I
don't understand that, because it's like, as far as porn goes, it's bad. As far as animated porn goes, it's bad. But it's like just the song now is like the meme itself, because like it's one of those, like, if you know, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. That's different. I mean, I will always and forever. I don't care what you like. I think furry porn's fucking disgusting, and I think you need help personally. So, seriously, I think you need to see someone. I think that's not natural. I think that's fucking disgusting.
Furry porn?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's fucking animals, and that's what it comes down to, is having sex with animals. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
What's the difference?
They're not fucking animals.
Are they though? Like, let's be honest. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable with a furry being around.
No, furries are gross. Don't get me wrong. Furries are disgusting.
Like, I would never leave my animal alone with a furry.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck my cat.
I don't know.
I wouldn't, because that's gross. Like,
But then my whole thing is like, okay, if
you
it's.
want to be like an animal, that's fine, but like, don't.
I think I just have a little bit too much faith in humanity, and I want to not believe that. I want to not believe that they'll fuck a cat.
Well, and even if they're like, no, it's nothing like that. But it's just like you're putting a wolf's face and tail on a hairy body that is humanistic.
Okay, so this is what I think it is, because I don't think that the eroticism comes from the actual fursuits themselves. I think the eroticism comes from the artwork. Okay, so it's the closest you can get, I guess, to the. It's the closest you can get to the artwork, because everybody creates their what's it called, a fursona.
Yeah.
Where they draw like, this is me in a different whatever, the furry verse or whatever fucking gif, fucking shit they say. But I feel like I'm not allowed.
What?
Is that a bad word? I don't know.
Yiffing? No, it's a thing. They call it that. It's like yiff
I've
porn.
seen a lot of kids crying on the internet about that.
Well,
word.
kids cry on the internet about everything every day. So
like, I think that's what it is, because I actually knew a guy who was a furry. I worked with him at Walmart, and he was honestly really funny. He was cool, but yeah, I also remember, like, on his like Facebook page and stuff, he would have like his fursona with his boyfriend's like fursona, doing like weird things and stuff. And I think that's where it is. It's like trying to like emulate that animated fantasy as best you can.
Sure.
So that's why they get the fucking mascot suits and stuff. That's why some furries don't even wear fur suits. That's why some of them just paint their bodies and stuff, because some furries actually are in good shape.
Yeah.
And like, they'll just oh, I want to look like a slick, slippery, fucking wolf man.
I just, you know what, dude? What you're doing is not illegal. So, I mean,
that's what I put it as, because the same can be said for you and me, who are into some weird devious shit.
Sure.
Yeah. And,
I'm legally hitting my girlfriend. And she's okay with it. I mean,
is she?
I don't know.
We'll talk about it later, Ellie. You can.
Oh no.
You can talk to me.
Damn, I'm gonna get Chris Hansen. Have a seat, Jacob.
Sit down. Why don't you take a seat?
Why don't you take a seat?
No, see, and I get that, and that's cool. Like, that's what it comes down to. Consenting adults is the rule.
Yeah. Not
consenting adult and child. Not consenting adult and animal.
Yeah.
Not consenting adult and refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it comes down to. If it's two consenting adults, then fucking have at it.
Is there anything better than Chris Hansen catching a pedophile? Have you ever watched
excuses?
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah. My grandma lives here. I was just bringing her some cookies. And
I was
beers.
telling Allie, like, no, seriously, dude. Like, I told because one day I was like, okay, good night, love you. Because I'm usually the one to go to bed first, but there are once in a blue moon, like, I will stay up until like late, and most times, I swear to God, and I literally mean most times, it's literally just me watching Chris Hansen bust pedophiles, and it's for three things. Number one, it's how they come in, because they're 100% like they think it's like a shoo-in. I mean, some of them are like skeptical, you know, like a lot of them will just kind of like look around, you know. Some of them instantly get busted because they go through like a door or something like that, you know. Number two is the reaction when they see Chris Hansen. Always the best.
It's that guy.
Because here's the thing is I've watched enough police interrogation videos to learn that any part of the law when you are in that situation is not your friend. And you need to stop treating it as such. So like when you see people like that are in like the interrogation rooms and they're knowingly like just talking, not incriminating themselves, but just talking to the police, you're a fucking moron right there.
Yeah.
Don't talk.
Yeah.
So it's like I told Alex, like, it drives me crazy. It's like I would never do that. But if I was in that situation, if I saw Chris Hansen be like, have a seat, what's going on? Nope. I'm not going to respond to anything. I'm going to make him look stupid because, you know, he's really good at getting them to talk.
Course.
So I'm not even going to say, just go arrest me. I'm not going to say anything. I'm literally going to wait for him to just have enough awkward silence to say, okay, I'm Chris Hansen. This is NBC. And then, okay. Because these people, because every single time what happens, he comes in and he goes, how's it going? They're like, good. How's it going?
What'd you come here for?
Hanging out, you know. Oh, I just, she was, my favorite one is when they're like, I was going to wait until her parents came home and like teach them a lesson. You know what I mean?
My God.
They, like that is their first. So like that is one of the best and funniest things is like, there's like, look, this girl say she was 14 years old and she said her parents were going to be gone. I was going to sit here. I was going to just talk to her because I wasn't comfortable with how they were talking, and I was just going to let their parents know when they came home what was transpiring. Two things. What would you fucking do if you came home from like a night out with your wife and your fucking son is hanging out in the kitchen with a 45-year-old guy, and the first thing the guy says is, I'm glad you're here. Look at how your son and I were talking on the internet.
I could have molested your son.
Yeah, that guy wouldn't leave my house, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, always the best, because these guys will tell Chris Hansen like, oh yeah, I know the show, you know. Yeah. But they'll be like, oh, I was just gonna hang out. Oh, it's funny you said that. Hey, did you tell this 14-year-old girl you wanted to eat her pussy raw? And you know, like, dude, and they get so embarrassed and like, because it's just like, yeah, you're fucking caught, dude.
Yeah,
you're fucking caught.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, dude, there's something about them especially old men,
just digging their grave, just yeah.
Or married men. That's my favorite too. Is they'll always say like, I have a wife and kids at home, and my kids are fucking
or what about the ones that are just like, yeah, man, I have a problem. I'm sick.
Yeah, that don't matter, dude.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, no sympathy.
You had a problem up until 5 seconds ago when you got caught. Like,
I've wanted to do that for so long. I've like told Allie, I was like, I wish I had a way to safely lure pedophiles to my house and fucking bust their ass.
Oh yeah,
it's my favorite thing,
dude. Make a YouTube page.
I would love to do that, dude. That'll be my new podcast.
I think there is a YouTube page like that. Where
I'll make them think, and then I'll be like, oh no, come on, we're gonna do a podcast. It's fine. So who are you here to see? Oh, dude, it's
here to see Natalie. I'm Natalie.
I'm Natalie. You were saying some raunchy stuff to me. I was gotta tell you. Yeah, dude. That and look. What they're doing, I'm not acknowledging. Like, that's a fucking disgusting human.
Yeah.
Like the question that always gives me chills, because it's a real serious question, is he always says, what would have transpired if I wasn't here?
Scary.
And they're just like, I don't know. Some of them are just like, well, probably would have, you know. But it's just like the fact that that's just out there is just fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So when they get busted, dude, I'm like, oh yeah. And then the ones that pretend to like, they like do this, you know, like they cover their face and shit. I'm just like, you're done, bro.
Dude,
like,
and then when they get fucking tackled.
Oh, and they start crying, and there's oh no, like, oh my god, I live for it, dude. Literally, like that is better than any drug, dude.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, that's.
Let's just go beat up pedophiles, dude. Like, yeah, let's go fucking beat up pedophiles, dude. Seriously, like that'd be my fucking favorite thing.
Yeah, dude, let's fucking do it. Oh god. Speaking of Chris Hansen, have you like looked into that guy lately?
He was on an episode of YMH.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he like canceled or something now?
No, not to my knowledge.
I was listening to another podcast that was talking about Chris Hansen and how he pretty much like what did he do?
What do you do?
Exploited Onision's victims, basically.
Oh yeah. So do you know about Onision?
I don't think so.
Do you remember the guy he made that video like the I'm a banana,
Yeah.
So he's done a lot more than that video. He's like a blogger and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's just like he was essentially just outed for like this. This is Allie's fucking expertise. I wish she would just fucking
grab a mic.
It's fine.
God.
But and correct me if I'm wrong, but he's essentially just like the king of grooming young women. Like he was just like and there was like this documentary that was out on like Hulu or something like that where it was like he drove this poor girl to like just go crazy because he wouldn't let her leave the house. I mean, he would make fun of her for her like mental breakdowns. Like he was a bad guy. Eventually gets busted for talking to underage girls. Chris Hansen decides to just go fucking full Dog the Bounty Hunter on him and like approach the dude's house with his fucking NBC camera crew. Onision essentially is just not leaving his house anymore. Like he's on his own accord house arrest because of Chris Hansen.
Shit.
But what Chris Hansen did in the act of justice was going into the lives of the victims of Onision, which was just really personal stuff. So people got mad at Chris Hansen. But I will always and forever say that Chris Hansen is just a God's child. Oh, babe, that is going to get picked up heavily. Should we take a break while you're doing that? Let's just take a break till that's done.
All right.
And now more of the Basement Dweller.
We were rudely interrupted by Allie's pizza making. Sorry about that, folks. She just had to get her munch on in the middle of our genius gold magnum opus of a
Beautiful strand of thought.
about pedophiles and Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
No, dude, but that's the kind of stuff I'd want to do. Just like my whole thing is that just like I feel like I can't. I mean, I can't do it. Chris Hansen's been a fucking news reporter for 1,000 years. I don't even know what I would do if I had a fucking pedophile in my house.
Now I'm gonna beat you up.
Yeah. What am I gonna do with some big fucking Cletus 6'5", 300-pound dude? I'm just like, what are you doing in here, man?
I was gonna fuck a kid. But now I'm gonna fuck you.
He could honestly just say, I was gonna do that. What are you gonna do about it? I don't have the news crews and the fucking police. Like, so you gonna stop me? No, I'm sorry, sir.
As you were. There's no kid here, by the way. Well,
so not only did I come over here with a boner, you disappointed me.
so you blue-balled me and tried to expose me.
Oh yeah, let's never do that, babe. Actually, never mind. It's a bad idea. I love having you on, dude.
I like being on, man. You should have me on more.
Well, come over more.
You live like 20 minutes away.
A lot closer. I'm so happy to be in this house now.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad you guys got your own spot. That's sick.
That's nice. I mean, there's a huge difference between, I still live with someone, but it's like it's not a roommate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't not had a roommate since. How old were we when I had my own apartment? 20?
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, but the way that everything's going, it feels like we're gonna have potential roommates until we're fucking 50. Everything's so expensive.
For everyone our age.
Yeah, it's so it's just fucked up. I don't know, man. I just remember like being like a kid, and like I remember specifically my mom telling me one time that like their mortgage for that house was like $1,100.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a fucking beautiful 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I pay more for that here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just not all these damn Californians are fucking ruining all us Arizona kids who have been here forever and ever, and
that's us, dude. We're those people, but we're just not getting our piece of the pie.
it just sucks because like I just feel like I'm always on like this weird poverty line, and like I've never been in a situation where I've ever been really like strapped for cash or potentially homeless. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like me and Allie have full-time jobs that pay okay money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it sucks that we have to be. We're not frugal. I mean, we can still enjoy stuff, but like I don't know. Like there's like that thing where it's just like you always just have to be careful. Like it really does feel like I'm just working myself into the grave sometimes.
Sure.
I don't blame my job. I blame like the housing and like I said because if we don't pay for it, and this is what I was telling her because she was like, and I agree, but Allie was just like, everything's so much money, like it's bullshit. Like, right, like that is true. But if we don't pay for it, someone else will.
Right.
So I could tell you that this apartment was definitely not our first, second, third choice. It was forced to be our first choice because if you even at this point, like, if you tell yourself, "Oh, I'll think about it," if it's gone tomorrow, it's gone tomorrow. You have to just be like, "All right, we're good. Let's do it."
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I used to say in the car business. Like the car that you got to think about today was the car that someone else was thinking about yesterday. You
ever miss selling cars?
all the time, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't you ever do it again?
I don't miss like the instability of it. You know, I miss like the atmosphere. Like I honestly liked, like, it sounds fucked up, but I honestly liked like how much of like a boys club it was.
Yeah.
You know, I liked, you know, that I had like just ridiculous managers that just seemed like every business cartoon and caricature you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. You know, and it was just fun, you know, because it was kind of like I guess it was kind of like escapism, because, you know, like I was kind of, you know, I was in a shitty relationship at the time, so like being able to like go away from that and sell cars and get to almost be like this different person, because you have to, like, you know, like me, like I would say somewhat charismatic. At the car dealership, I was a freaking, like I said, like I was Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah, I mean,
I
mean, but like the way that you did it, I mean, you sounded, it's weird because I never thought that would be a job that you would like, but I could tell that you enjoyed it. I mean, the hours are hectic.
Yeah.
And when you go home to a shitty situation on top of working almost 12 hours a day, sometimes more, it's just not fun. But I mean, like, but I do know from that job is like, if you're doing well, you're doing really well.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember like I had one really good day, because like, you know, it's like if you sell 3 cars in one day, like they call it a hat trick, and that's already like some, you know, big dick energy around the dealership, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you sold 3 today? What the fuck, you know?
Yeah, because they'll incentivize you with like a bunch of bonuses and shit too, won't they?
Yeah, especially if you get 3. Like sometimes, like we used to have, what was it? They were called. Oh, what were they called? I can't remember what they were called, but they had a name for it. And yeah, essentially they were incentives. Like every Friday we'd have a meeting, and they'd just be like, all right, so let's say if you sell a Mustang off the lot, right? If you sell 1 Mustang, you're getting $200. Mm-hmm. You know, if you sell 3 Mustangs, I will give you $1,000.
Yeah.
You know,
$1,000 for 8 hours.
If you sell 4 cars today on Friday, I will give you no shit. Sometimes, like, I will give you $5,000 in cash out of my own pocket, untaxed, for selling.
You saw people do that?
Yes.
Wow.
No shit, dude. I don't even know if that's legal, but like, straight up.
I mean, sales managers at a car dealership. I mean, that is such cokehead energy. Like,
oh,
I mean,
fuck yeah, it is. But
I mean, you have to be though. I mean, in those jobs, I mean, it's essentially just like a fucking stocks job. I mean, you're the only thing that matters is money.
You know how you get a room full of dudes just fucking like no shit. Like you see people like it's almost like
it's a dick measuring contest.
Almost like snarling, dude, ready to go.
Yeah.
Like no shit, like that scene from like
Wolf of Wall Street, yeah,
where everyone's just like getting almost angry, like they almost look angry.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, it's that scene. It's like, does your girlfriend think you're a fucking loser?
Exactly.
Pick up the phone. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and everyone just is like, yeah. You know? Like no shit. We had some sales meetings like that where people were just like, fuck yeah,
just foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, no shit. And it's because like I'm not gonna say his name, but like, you know, our manager, or the owner of the company, like that dude could get people fucking fired up. He was your boss too at one point.
He was. Yeah. I also used to sell cars.
Yeah. So
well, like, I worked at a car dealership. I don't want to say I sold cars. I wasn't very good.
But like, yeah, no, that dude was really good at like firing people up, and you know, he was always like the type, like he was also kind of scary, you know, like he had like kind of like that vibe of like he might have killed people. Yeah. Like, I
mean, it's just like that Big Brother energy where it's like, I want what he has, because you know that he has a bunch of money, and I want that.
Yeah, exactly. And he wasn't shy about it, dude. This dude would walk in with like fucking $10,000 fucking Gucci suits, and like, you know, you could tell who the big sales guys were, because he used to have this rule, right, where if you were salesman of the month, right, so if you had the most sales out of the entire month or whatever, the next morning, because he had this office, right, that was all glass in the center of the dealership. Right, and it was
which is such a James Bond villain.
Dude,
like,
you want to talk big dick energy? Look at my fucking glass office. Yeah, right there.
I'll fuck a bitch in there while you're trying to make a deal on a fucking Volkswagen.
Yeah, dude, and like fucking, what he would do is, if you were the top salesman, he would invite you on a shopping trip, and he would take you to buy you a $5,000 suit.
Oh my god!
And he'd get you a Gucci belt, like a $500 Gucci belt. Right, so you knew who like the fucking like hitters were in the dealership, because they'd all be walking. They'd never not wear their Gucci belts, right? Because you'd see a Gucci belt and just be like, that dude fucking slaps, you know, slaps.
I'd retire it like a
balls.
jersey, dude. I'd keep it on a fucking like mannequin, like when
hell
I'm not
yeah,
wearing
dude.
like a bat, like the bat suit, dude.
Yeah, dude, like hell yeah. So like, yeah, there were some dudes. There was one, you know, there was like obviously like in every dealership, there's always like one or two guys who just like never stop, right? Those guys, they're just top salesmen all the time.
And then they're there 13 hours a day, and
Yeah, it's not, no, opposite.
oh,
The opposite. They'll be gone most of their scheduled shifts.
because they
You know,
can, because fuck you.
Because they know, like, you know, like our boss was just like, I know I can count on these guys to close the deal, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick and choose like the deals that I need closed. Right? They don't even have to work for their calls, or they don't have to make calls. They don't have to do anything. They don't even have to come into work. Right? And this is kind of exaggerating a little bit, but like, yeah, essentially that's what it was. You only have to come into work to close a deal. You close that deal for me, I pay you well.
Well,
You know,
that's
I
why,
take care of you.
and if you can get that skill down as a young kid too. I mean, I knew kids that were my age that were definitely making $3,000,
yeah.
$4,000, $5,000 a month, and it's just like, and you're not making millions of dollars, but if you're a kid and you're making 80, 90 grand a year,
Yeah.
that's the best feeling in the world.
Oh, it is. It's super intoxicating. I mean, like, yeah, definitely. Like we had a couple of the young guys that would pop in, and like my mentor. I call him my mentor because I have so much respect for the guy. I told you I want to get him to do this podcast because he would be super interesting to talk to. But he's one of my mentors. I won't say his name until he agrees. So like, come on, but you would love him.
I'm sure.
But he's a year younger than me.
Wow.
I mean, that's not a lot. We're still technically like the same age. He's a year younger than me, but I've never met someone so like charismatic, so just on it, like just so ready to just make money. Like this dude, like he's like into poker. He's into like, he has like his brain tuned to where he's just like, he's always trying to sell someone. No matter what. That dude, I know for a fact, if that dude ever stays in the car business, that dude's going to be rich one day, and, I just remember talking to him. He was so interesting to talk to, I would even talk to him about like my relationship issues and stuff like that. Cause he was like probably one of my best friends at the dealership. And I just remember him just like the way he would really put like a weird like spin on perspective for me, because he would think about things just like a salesman, and it's 100% true. Like the whole like dark psychology aspect of sales, like every movie you've ever seen where they're like, have you tried this close? Have you tried this? Have you tried asking him about this? Have you tried telling him that he should get his balls out of his wife's purse? Like stuff like that. And like, it's savage, but like people do it. I seen that guy straight up tell a dude to pull his nuts out of his wife's purse while she was standing there, like, and close the deal.
Yeah. So
like, it's crazy, but it's like, it works because, who loves buying a car? Right? Everyone likes buying the car, having the new car.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the process.
Well, yeah, it's like the dentist office, dude. No one likes going to the dealership.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes that experience, and I learned that pretty quickly. Because like me, like I'm me. I think I read pretty quickly to people. Like he's kind of unsure about a lot of stuff. He's a little insecure, like stuff like that. So I think that I exuded a lot of that when I was a car salesman. And it wasn't until I kind of like learned to like push that down where I started doing good. This dude, like he's your best friend in like 5 minutes, talking to him. So that's how people would usually make the best deals, is like straight up. Like I remember he was working people there's some people he worked for like years, he'll be like, oh yeah, that's Chelsea. She comes to me every 2 years to buy a car. Only me.
Wow.
Like he had people down like that. Like, so it's like, it's really cool to see people, because it's a craft. It's like, you got to learn the different like mind tricks and the different like, even like I think the thing that blew my mind the most was the handshake thing. Did they teach you the handshake trick?
Probably.
So like, what they say is like, what you're supposed to do is like, when you go to shake someone's hand, right? Because you need to know what type of like they teach you to analyze people's personality types, right? If they're like an alpha personality, AB personality, whatever that stuff is.
Yeah.
So like, that way you know how to attack the situation, right? So I remember like he showed me, he was like, shake my hand, and I shook his hand, and he was like, I could tell you a lot about yourself now just by shaking your hand. And I was like what? He told me all that stuff that I just said. Where he was just like, I can tell you're a little bit of an insecure person. I can tell you're nervous. I can tell you're shy. You know, I was like, how can you tell that? Like, was I making a face or something? He was like, no. He was like, I could tell just by shaking your hand. He was like, I shook your hand, and this is what you do. He's like, you reach out for someone's hand, right? When you grip their hand, number one, you check you feel how hard
grip,
how they're gripping your hand, right? And then it's like I guess, I don't know, like a mental, like subconscious thing. He's like, then you try to rotate their hand slightly, right? Try to make it to where your hand is the hand on top. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, and if that person allows you to put your hand above theirs, you know, it's like a subconscious thing that they're going to submit to you, like on very small scales, like conversationally. Yeah, no shit. And, I mean, like I said, like I was shy and insecure and stuff like that. So like, yeah, he twisted my hand. I didn't even realize he did it, you know? Yeah. And he was just like, yeah. So he's like, try it on someone. He's like, just try it. Just try to shake someone's hand and try to just do that. He's like, you'll find that some people will just let you go right. Like, just go ahead and let you do it. Some people will fight you. Mm-hmm. He's like, he's like, those are the ones you have to watch out for. The guys that will fight you to keep their hand on top because they're subconsciously not wanting you to take advantage of them. They're more alert to like being ripped off or, you know, being, you know, screwed over in that way. And no shit, I could tell you the only guys that ever wouldn't let me like put my hand on top were always, you know, construction workers, fucking like dudes that drove up in big lifted trucks and shit.
Right.
Yeah, just alpha personality people would never let you do it. But, you know, beta personality people or like people who are more submissive, women, obviously, like
obviously.
Not obviously. Uh-oh. No, I definitely had a few.
You're fucking on one, Christian. You know, these dainty women.
But it's like, you know, they're not going to fight you on a handshake, you know.
Right.
So like I would honestly even go so far to say that it didn't even work on women. But like dudes definitely. You know, it always worked on dudes. So
now every time I shake someone's hand, you're
gonna think about it.
I'm just gonna
because that used to be the joke, you know, like squeeze someone's hand harder and it shows that you're in charge, you know. Yeah. Where like there's also that aspect, but also that hand rotation thing. And I was just like, that's insane. Like how you can tell that from people. He's like, oh dude, he's like, it goes so much deeper than that. He was like, you know, I'm looking at what kind of shoes he's wearing. I'm looking at how old they are. I'm looking at the wear and tear on his pants. You know, I'm looking at what kind of purse his wife has. I'm looking at what kind of watch he's wearing. You know, like all this shit that he's just like, just downloading, you know, and like paying attention to. He's like, I'm keeping an eye on how he treats his kids. You know, I'm keeping an eye on how his kids behave around him. You know,
this guy can get away with murder, bro.
Dude, probably, but fuck, like that dude had like the whole sales mentality on such lockdown. Like I was just like, I wish I could see the world the way he does.
It's impressive.
Like, it is. It's really impressive. I miss that guy. Man. Fuck, I'm gonna text him after this and see if he wants to. You really should talk to him.
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely let him know. I'd love to have you both back on, dude. Fucking art of the deal. He might. We might end this. I'll go tell Ali, hey, I just bought a fucking Subaru. Sorry. So gotta get rent now.
Yeah.
Call it a night, dude. I'm fucking tired. It's late. I don't ever record this late, man. You got me up here.
We've been on for a minute.
Yeah, man. As always, man. It's awesome having you. I mean, I see you all the time, but to thank you for helping me do something that I love doing, and I love having you on. You're fucking hilarious. You're one of my best friends. Known you since we were wee lads, and
wee lads.
Yeah, man. We're gonna end with we have a new outro coming out. We'll actually have the overdub of the new plugs and stuff like that after, but I want to end it with the outro made by Dondre. He was on an episode earlier. I believe he was episode 7 or 8. Yeah, he was under the name Criminals. Go ahead and give that a listen. But right now we'll close out with that. Christian, I love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thanks for coming down to the basement. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
While you're at it, leave a rating and review to help other people find out about the show. Got a question? Email Jacob at tbdmanchild@gmail.com or find him on Instagram at basement_dwelling_Jacob, Twitter at TBD_Jacob, and YouTube, The Basement Dweller. We will see you real soon.